Hi guys, so it's me Nika, and I think this video has been long overdue. So the last time that I posted any type of life update video was probably either September or October of last year, talking about my schedule and kind of what my day-to-day looks like as a music student. A lot has changed since then, both personally in my goals and aspirations, but also the world and what's affecting everyone else. I made a video before about COVID-19, and that video was filmed. I'm not sure about when it was uploaded, but it was filmed before it was announced a worldwide pandemic. And again, everyone's country, even like their state or province, is responding differently to the pandemic. So my experience, kind of, my own. And I just want to put a disclaimer. If I sound like I'm complaining about it, I mean, there are some people who had it way worse than me. And there are some people, like the rich 1%, who had it pretty easy. And for some people like me who are extroverts, staying home for 2 months, which it was really only 2 whole months that I had to stay home, may seem like impossible, which it was for me. Whereas other people might be saying, oh, 2 months, like I've been stuck for 4 months, like you had it really easy. There's some people who have probably been forced to work in unsafe working conditions who would have loved to have 2 months at home and are maybe upset that I'm even saying that as a problematic thing. So I think everyone's situation and everyone's perspective and preferences are different, and I think it's important to keep that in mind. I haven't been financially struggling during COVID, but I have been mentally. And sometimes I think, mental struggles can be just as bad and maybe worse depending on the type of person you are. So I just wanted to get that out of the way. I probably should have made notes for this video, but I didn't. So I'm just gonna kind of go through like different topics. One being, the last official update I filmed was early fall, and I've been posting consistently up until February or March, and that's kind of when I lost my way. Like even now, right now, I'm filming this on August 2nd, and I have like my Ipsy bag openings filmed for April, May, June, and I'm gonna film July soon. But I haven't uploaded any of them, and I don't know, I just haven't really been in the mood to upload really. But okay, let's get back to school. So, I'd finished my first semester of school, and it was great. I did fail a class, and I thought I would get on track, and whatever, I would be like a year, it would take a year longer for me to like finish my diploma. And then after second semester, I went on a choir trip, and it's really difficult just because I think a lot of the people in the program, this is public information to the internet, I have issues with some people in the program in the sense that I don't really think that they're super inclusive or good people, and I think I learned a lot of that on the trip, and I lost a lot of myself trying to change myself to impress them and to fit in. And I don't really think that's okay. I mean, I understand, like, social context, sometimes you have to act a certain way maybe in front of some people, but I don't think I should force myself to be interested in things that I'm actually not interested, and I don't think I should be able to, like, say certain words or use certain language, like words and language that go against my morals just to sound cool or to impress people. And really, like, no matter what I did, like, it's hard. Like in high school, this was high school stuff where, no one would hang out with me, so I would have to eat lunch on like school trips with my teacher. On this trip, I had to eat meals with my professor because I had no one else to eat with, stuff like that. And I didn't want to deal with it. I also just noticed that I lost a lot of my passion for music, and I think this program really took a lot of that away from me. If you don't have like the right personality to go into a performing arts program, then you won't do well. And I always thought because I did so good in high school and so good in my Royal Conservatory of Music exams that, you know, I would be great at a university level because I was kind of above a high school level anyway. And I think, like, I've talked to people and they've told me that I have the talent, just not like the personality and the mental fortitude. And I think that's okay. I think everyone has their own strengths, and, you know, maybe my music passion is kind of more meant to be a hobby rather than seriously studying it. And I was never going to go into music. The only reason why I took music was because that was like one of the few programs my grades were high enough for, because I kind of went through a mental rut in high school. And I also did want to get simultaneously a science degree and a music degree. It's been done before, like UBC has a joint major program for it. But, you know, I just wanted to do that for fun and like my own betterment and my own education and interest, but I was never going to actually seriously use it in a career. So it was kind of a hard decision, but I decided to, I'm not going to do music anymore. Another thing that happened too was that for an elective, I took one intro to psych course, and I truly realized that I love psych. I really want to minor in psych or even like double major in psych. I found something that I was so passionate about. And I also did some research in my own time because I think I realized it's enough time to, you know, I also did music again because, like, as a blind person, like, you know, it's the stereotype that blind people are good at music. And my parents, being more conservative and maybe closed-minded in a lot of disability aspects, kind of put me in this box of careers that I could do. And being me, I don't really fit the status quo. Right? Like, I'm pretty eccentric. I'm the only person in my family who's vegetarian. I'm the only, like, really artsy person in my family. I'm into the whole hippie crystal astrology thing. Like, I'm kind of the black sheep of the family and kind of went against all my parents' like expectations. You know, like, I'm the only person in my family who's active on social media and has like a very small, granted, but still a public platform. So the fact that, you know, they want me to either be a counselor, a writer, a vision teacher, music therapist, computer engineering, those are like the programs that they wanted me to do, and I'm not really interested in any of them. I think writing is great if you're successful, but I don't think it's a stable career personally, and I do like creative writing for fun, but that's more of a hobby. Again, computer science and like, they want me to do like computer science or economics because it makes good money, but I have personally no interest in that. Being a vision teacher or someone who works with the visually impaired does not interest me because I have so much respect for people who do, but I don't want to be tied to that, and I don't want to be labeled as that and have my career be labeled as that either. And then counseling and stuff, I could not personally do it because I am an empath. My doctor has told me I'm an empath. Multiple people I've talked to tell me I'm an empath, and I can sense people's emotions like really easily, and I'm someone who gets affected by people's problems really easily. And if I were to be a counselor, I would absolutely 100% take all of that home with me. So, you know, although I'm interested in psychology and learning it because I want to work with people, and I think everyone, like every doctor, every person who like works with people on that type of level, anyone in healthcare, whatever, like I feel like everyone should almost have some type of intro to psych course at least, depending on like their job. I think it's something really, really useful. Especially, you know, when you work in like the public, whatever, like if you work in an office job, I mean, maybe not so much if you have to sit at your desk and don't really go to a lot of meetings. But most jobs, I think it's useful to have an intro to psych course. So yeah, but I've been doing research into being a dietitian. That's something I've really wanted to do for a while, either go into dietetics at UBC, which is really, really hard to do, or at least get into the Faculty of Land and Food Systems and take a Bachelor of Science in Nutritional Sciences, and then after that go to naturopathic school. I mean, ideally, I would love to go to medical school and become a regular allopathic doctor, and it is possible for a blind person to do that, but it's really difficult. So, you know, some backup plans I have are to be a dietitian, to be a naturopathic doctor, or even a holistic nutritionist. And, you know, right now at my current school, I wanted to look at UBC to see what the transfer requirements were. And it turns out that there's only one school in British Columbia that you can directly transfer to the Faculty of Land and Food Systems, to UBC, and that is the school that I really want to go to. Of course, when I found all of this out, it was like May, when I did research, when I had multiple months off school, because I dropped all my summer courses because I didn't want to do online. And so, you know, I dropped those courses, so I had time and did my research. So I have to go to a new school now, which is also kind of causing friction between my family and I. But I didn't want to take a year off school because I still wanted to, you know, maintain kind of some, what's the word, like drive and like actual motivation. So next semester, starting in September, I will be taking 3 different psych courses because I love psych. I'm taking the second intro to psych course, like part 2, like Psych 101. I am taking lifespan psych because I'm really interested to learn about specifically psych and take like, you know, infant psych and child psych and adolescence. Like I really want to know about the different lifespans and stages in life. And I'm also taking abnormal psych, which is about like schizophrenia and like psychological diseases, which always fascinated me. And I'm also taking a 4th course, which is a human kinetics or kinesiology course in health and human nutrition, which I think is a really good start for wanting to be a dietitian. So yeah, that's kind of what I've been going through education-wise. Now let's talk about kind of, you know, how I've been dealing with the pandemic, what I've been doing. So on March 11th, I believe it was when it was announced a pandemic, and that same week, on a Friday, I remember this day so clearly, was when our choir teacher choir professor teaches another class on Fridays, like to the first year students right before choir. And he said, you know, go down to choir and tell everyone else basically not to set up any of the chairs, not to like bother setting everything up perfectly, just like set them up like in a circle or whatever, instead of like setting them up by section, like bass, alto, soprano, tenor. And this was very unusual, and a lot of people, like, we were wondering, like, is he going to cancel choir? Because he does not, like, he's the type of person who doesn't. And that's when we talked about, you know, our concert being canceled and how choir rehearsals aren't going to be anymore. At this point, like, the pandemic has been so far from me, even though, like, the first cases in Canada, or not even Canada, in BC, were announced, like, late January. But still, like, the only thing that really affected me was this one prof I had would constantly talk about the pandemic, or it wasn't a pandemic at the time, would constantly talk about COVID. He would just like keep reminding us like, wash your hands, and he would make us sit further apart because like he was personally really paranoid, which for good reason, like now, but you know, back then I always thought, oh, like all we have to do is practice good cold etiquette. Even I mentioned that in a video, like I was like, yeah, just knees into your elbow and wash your hands and that's it. Like I didn't know anything about, like, I didn't know at the time I would have to wear a mask every time I go somewhere, or constantly be sanitizing my hands, like, every time I enter a store or something. Like, it's crazy. So yeah, that one prof constantly talking about it was, like, really the only thing. And then, you know, I went to choir, and then I got that news, which was really devastating, just because I'm 19 now, so for the past 10 years, I've nonstop been in a choir. Choir is a really, really big part of my life. It shaped so much of who I am and got me through a lot of my mental health struggles in high school. And it just means something really, really important and so much deeper than like what I can convey on YouTube. And oh my god, please don't start crying. But yeah, I cannot like actually in words express how much singing and choir mean to me. And literally to have singing blacklisted as one of the like activities you can't do, because there are some extreme people who are really paranoid who are against singing. My own parents say that I'm not allowed to sing in my own room because like if they walk in and the droplets are like floating around after I was singing, like they don't want to get sick. And like it's not my house, so I can't really tell them like, hey, don't come in my room, like whatever. And like telling a singer to stop singing is like telling a person to stop breathing. Like they're one and the same, like to me at least. So yeah, that was really weird and kind of hard to deal with. And then a couple days afterwards is when we got emails saying that the rest of the semester would be online, which I'm just gonna spare you the details and say online and I do not go well together. Luckily it was only for a month, like maybe less, and that's why I dropped my online courses. And you know, then I had like 4 months of vacation, 4.5 really, because mid-April was the exam period, which any other time would have been great. Like any other year, if someone told me like 4-month vacation, yay, but it's not really a 4-month vacation if like all the summer camps I go to are canceled. So I would say I had to start being at home, and things closed probably like a couple days after the pandemic was announced, so mid-March. And then I stayed home like for half of March, and then all of April, and then half of May, so that, you know, adds up to 2 months. And then I started going out because that's when things started opening in British Columbia. I was able to go to some restaurants. I was actually able to go out for my 19th birthday, which if you're not in Canada, or at least most states, a couple states, well, provinces are 18. But usually it's 19 where all of the restrictions are lifted on, you know, what you can do as an adult. And it was really cool to be able to actually go out on my 19th birthday and be able to like have my first legal drink like with my friends. Just because I have a couple of friends whose birthdays are in April and they did have to stay in like lockdown at home at the time. So that was really, really nice. I mean, for those 2 months, really, I was kind of in limbo. I think we all were. There was no official lockdown, but there also really wasn't anything we could do. I remember as soon as, like, I think stuff started opening on, like, May 18th, but May 18th was a, like, holiday, was Victoria Day, so May 19th, like, things started opening, and, like, the day afterwards, on, like, May 20th, I remember immediately I booked an appointment at my hair salon to cut my hair and to recolor it, which I feel like I keep saying that I dyed my hair, but you can't even see it because it's still so dark, but in the right lighting it looks red. But yeah, anyway, so I did that and I was really, really happy. I'm able to hang out like quite a bit with my friends now, like obviously being really careful. I think something I struggled with is I'm not allowed to really transit anymore. Like a couple times, okay, if I'm with my friends and we're somewhere and we need to get to somewhere else, in that case, like I'm allowed to transit because, you know, my parents can't like, what's the word, like wait for me and like drop me off everywhere. But if it's about like going somewhere, for example, they rather have like drop me off or me take an Uber. And it's mostly like with Cbus and SkyTrain they're okay with, but like buses not so much because like Cbuses are really big. So, and not many people really take them anymore, so social distancing is easy, and I never sit on a SkyTrain anyway, and, you know, like, I wear gloves, but, the big issue they have is a bus, because it's a lot more of a confined space than a Cbus, but unlike a SkyTrain, I don't stand on buses. I find it a lot harder to balance, so I always sit down. So that's, yeah, I don't know, weird. I've like gained so much weight, you have no idea. In my first year of like university, I kind of dealt with the whole freshman 15 thing. And in grade 12, like in grade 12, I was pretty fit. I could like fit into clothes that were like small for me, and I could finally fit into them. I was really high energy. I was pretty strong too and had good endurance. Because I was, you know, I was tandem cycling and competitive swimming and dancing and dragon boating basically at the same time. And then everything kind of stopped after high school. And, you know, now it's like I kind of don't fit into anything that's nicer anymore. And I found this website called G Plans. Paid like way too much money for it probably, but I'm hoping that, you know, I'll get a meal plan every day and I can follow it, and it's like by an actual doctor, and I can like talk to like actual nutritionists. And like he actually determines, like you take a quiz and he determines your metabolic type, and you put in like how much you weigh now and your goal weight, and like he gives you a time frame. I don't know if it works, but I mean, I tried Weight Watchers and it was terrible. Like, it just did not work for me. The Smart Point system, I don't get it. I don't like it. I don't like the whole thing where you can eat anything you want, really, as long as it fits in the Smart Points. So, like, that means someone can basically have donuts for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and that's the only thing they can eat, as long as it fits into the Smart Points. Like, I really don't get it. So yeah, and then let's see what else. I have made some discoveries about myself in terms of religion and spirituality. So let me know if you want a video on that. I'm just gonna say it right here that I identify as kind of a neo-pagan or like new ager, kind of like between those two. So yeah, let me know if you want more information on that. I would love to do videos about how I do tarot and about my different crystals and like astrology and like telling you about my entire birth chart. Like that would be really, really fun. But you know, I feel like that's kind of controversial, and I know that some people are gonna hate it. And yeah, you know, besides that, I've been at home watching a lot of Netflix and listening to a lot of podcasts. Ooh, I actually started a podcast because an organization that I volunteer with called Blind Beginnings put out a podcast, and we called it Limitless, so definitely check it out. It's on Spotify and like the Apple Podcasts app, and on their website blindbeginnings.ca, and even on the YouTube channel Blind Beginnings we post them. It's pretty good stuff. I'm on a couple episodes. In particular, interviewing a friend about life skills and how she does that as a blind person. And we, also the other one I'm on is about blind representation in media, which is pretty cool. So yeah, and we have a bunch of other topics. We have actually one coming out. I'm filming this on a Sunday, so we should have one coming out, a new episode, in like 2 days. We said we would be like putting out new ones every 2 weeks, but you know, because of pandemic, we have a lot of free time. So we're putting them out every week now. So that's pretty cool. And yeah, that's basically like it for, you know, stuff that I'm okay sharing with on the internet. Obviously, I have a lot of other stuff, emotional stuff, you know. There's always some type of drama, especially when you're stuck at home with a bunch of people, or even with friends when you can't really see each other personally all the time, or like I can't see all of my friends personally all the time. And there's like miscommunication and, you know, things get a little confusing. But yeah, besides that, I think overall I'm doing okay. I'm surviving. I don't know. I think things are better now that I'm able to like go out more, and I only have a month of this 4-month horrible vacation left, and then I can finally start taking online courses. I was super against them during the summertime, and I think I needed to cleanse a bit, but now I'm going like so stir crazy. I've been trying to do like online courses for free, but I don't have motivation because I'm not going to be graded for those, and I'm not like paying for them. So yeah, but I don't know, only a month. I'm excited. I'm like counting down the days until school starts again. I am so weird, I know. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know if there's anything else you want me to film, because I have so much free time, you have no idea. I will definitely be uploading my Ipsy like openings eventually, hopefully. I'm gonna upload this one first though, just to like explain everything. But yeah, so don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in my next video.